I'm Jada Taylor and I'm on the ET Stand podcast next.
For over 50 years, people have come to see the Sharks play. Talent, skill, speed, intelligence, elite level athleticism. That's not these guys. Biased, one-eyed, opinionated, more often wrong than right. They make up for their complete lack of talent with pure dribble, gibberish, and enthusiasm. This is the ET Stand podcast. Welcome to the ET Stand podcast. And yes, we normally say that we let out talking to the football, but today we have someone who can actually play football far better. I could even say faster, more skillful, more athletic, more intelligent, better looking, better dressed, basically just everything better than me. Jada, legend, how are you, mate?
I'm good. Wow, what an intro. I think I need to take you everywhere with me.
Well, yeah, I've got the booming voice. So, yeah, Dane Wheeler, I'm coming for you for the ground announcer job if that one ever comes up. But yeah, we've got Star Sharks injured fullback. We'll talk about her injuries in a minute. Jada Taylor joining us, stopping by the ET Stand podcast to talk all things NRLW. We are obviously going to preview the blockbuster clash with the Brisbane Broncos on the weekend. We're going to chat about the injury. We're going to preview the game. And we're going to talk about Jada's work with the club that she does outside of her role with the NRLW team. A bit of inspo for how she got into playing for the Sharks and choosing rugby league and anything else that we just happen to come up with. Before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button so it helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And then also give us a rating on Spotify or YouTube pods or whatever audio channel you happen to be listening to. All right, mate. Well, let's get into it. The ACL injury, how's it going?
Not too bad. I think mentally the most challenging injury I've had. But I'm back at work and stuff and getting around. I think my family tried to wrap me in cotton wool, but it's going not too bad. I think I've had 3 shoulder reconstructions now, and this is definitely way worse. So can't wait to be back from this one.
Oh, goodness, I've had shoulder surgeries. You're saying it's worse than the shoulders?
Oh, I honestly think it's way worse. I think just not being able to get around, and you're in a sling for 6 weeks after a shoulder reconstruction. So you're sort of protected, whereas the leg, they make you go to the bathroom as soon as you get out of surgery and pretty much walk out that afternoon. So it's a lot more active recovery and it's not nice. Very painful to try and get straight at the moment.
So where are you up to at the moment? Leg can't quite straighten.
Yeah, I'm 4 weeks post-op.
Yep.
I walk like an 80-year-old man. It doesn't look too good at the moment. But yeah, just physio, trying to get it straight again. Because until you can't run or do anything until you get straight. So it's all just about trying to straighten it, trying not to bend up too much when you're asleep and all that stuff you can't control, which is not very nice.
Well, at least you're young and not an 80-year-old person having an ACL
I feel it. I honestly feel it.
Oh, goodness. So I bet you're also feeling the FOMO at the minute with the finals. That just must be heartbreaking to watch. What's the toughest bit about watching?
Yeah, I think the hardest part is probably, being a part of the inaugural team was probably the most special thing that I've ever been a part of, and something I was so proud of. But not being a part of the inaugural team that makes finals is something really, really hard to deal with. And I think, we went on that 6 wins straight, and I didn't really feel like I was missing out on too much. I've been around the team the whole time, obviously, but when we had those 3 straight losses, I missed it more. I missed sitting in the sheds and feeling the pain with the rest of the girls. And obviously I was still upset, but the feeling when you lose and you've got this group of people, love each other, but just couldn't get it done is a feeling I actually miss weirdly, maybe a little bit sickly. But I definitely miss playing with the group. But if I wasn't around them, I'd definitely be struggling more.
Well, they say when the players retire, the camaraderie and the mateship is what they miss the most. And the last 3 losses, goodness, you've had the breadth of all the losses, the sound beating at the hands of the Roosters, the classic, dare I say it, Cronulla Sharks style loss at the death to the Broncos, and then and then a loss. Look, it didn't really matter too much last week's loss. I saw a bit of improvement last week. What was your take on last week's match?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Tigers probably aren't as bad a team as they have performed this year. But I think the frustrating part was, you might have seen on TV, it's sitting in the box. It's just frustrating because it's not our style of footy. I think it's annoying that we know we've got points in us, but we just kept making silly errors. There was a couple of times also we should have scored a try in Brooke went over and dropped the ball over the line.
Yep.
Happens. And then Ellie beats 3 people to score, but we drop the ball in the play the ball when they go to review it. So little things like that are frustrating, but it's just like moments that matter and we haven't capitalised on yet. So I think with experience, we'll be a lot better and we'll be a lot better this weekend.
Yeah, well, I blame the interview with you for making me watch those 3 games again. Like, why couldn't we do this? I should have approached you 3 weeks ago, so I could have rewatched those games rather than watching these damn bloody matches.
I know, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. There's one of the boys on the pod, Lats. Somehow I've managed to convince him to rewatch the Sharks 1999 prelim final loss in full 3 times. And so, he's like, "You got to stop making me watch this damn match." And so we haven't even.
I wasn't even a thought then, to be honest.
Well, we're going to chat to that. Well, let's get into that. So, your choice of the Cronulla Sharks and coming to play with us and being part of that inaugural team, and look, we won't hold it against you for that number 1 that you have against you on the rugby league project, having played for the Roosters, because the Sharks didn't have a team yet. What made you fall in love with the Sharks and pick coming to play with us?
Yeah, well, to be pretty honest, when I signed with the Roosters, I probably thought I was going to stay there forever, and it's just in my nature to be quite loyal and stuff like that. But I sort of knew the caliber of players they already had and asked the question if I was going to be sort of next man up, and I wasn't, and that sort of made me want to look elsewhere. I know I was still only 19, but I sort of thought all of these new teams is potentially a girl's overtaking me and they get to play footy, and the reason I left the Roosters is just because I wanted to play footy, and I spoke with 6 clubs, and I come and seen the Sharks and spoke to Tony, and as soon as I spoke to him, I knew I wanted to be a Shark, and just seeing how humble, I guess we call it, but they made me feel special, and I got to bring my dad in, and I think just the culture of the club around that made me feel like it would be a good home, and I've loved every minute of it. And I think Tony sort of promising, this number 1 jersey can be yours and it can be yours for a long time. If I do the right things, it sort of made me feel like, you can have a little bit of a legacy here. And I was really, really excited. And the fact that he put his faith into a 19-year-old kid sort of made me really want to repay back that to the club. And yeah, I haven't yet because I've been injured every year, but hoping to do that
pretty well. You can't, you're a bit unlucky with the injuries. You speak of that, the legacy of playing the number 1 jersey. The number 1 jersey for the Cronulla Sharks it's a pretty heralded jersey. You got the likes of, the Peach and Ben Barber and Jonathan Docking and Will Kennedy now. Now you got Jada Taylor as well. It's no short, buddy, slouch collection of players for the Sharkies.
Yeah, I know. I've met the Peach and he's a pretty cool dude. So, I love the number. I love the position, but more importantly, I love playing for the club, so it is nice to be a part of that, and to be, I guess, etched on a wall with your player number there is really nice.
Well, I guess you're also number 1 player.
I'm actually not, so we did it a little bit differently. I know when I sort of had that thought that maybe it would happen.
That negotiation, didn't you?
The way that the first ever team did it, they did for the men. They did their captain was number 1. And then it went alphabetical order of your last name. So as you might have been able to work out, I was right at the bottom. So scraped in before Emma. So we're 12 and 13.
Yeah, right. Well, it's not.
It's what it is, right? If you're going to lose to anyone, it might as well be Tiana Penatani.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Oh, how funny. Well, what inspiration can you take from from the yesteryear of the Sharks. Do you know the stories of Ben Barber and the Peach?
Look, I'm fairly young, I say that, but I've watched the 2016 grand final and seen how good Ben Barber was. Obviously, I've watched a fair bit of him, but the Peach is a little
Peach is a
bit too
bit
old
before
for
your
my
time.
time. But I've got to know him since working for the club, and he hits me up every time he needs tickets. So built quite a good relationship with the Peach, and watched his
Peach is
highlights because he's let me know he's got some. So I've been back
he's
through and watched the highlights. But yeah.
all right. Well, here's a challenge for you, Jada Taylor. Speaking of the Peach, so the Peach used to do this ridiculous thing where when he would score a try, he was so far ahead of everyone else, he would put the ball down really close to the dead ball line. Used to be his trademark move. It's like a brilliant thing. If you want to pay homage to the Peach, do that one time. Maybe don't do it in a finals match, but maybe a trial match or a round one match or something like that. That would be certainly pretty good fun. I would love it.
I think Tony Herman would kill me. I think if I was playing games, he would get very cranky at me.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, so there was a moment where the Peach, they did a video replay on him doing that exact move, and it must have been like a centimetre or two. So
I don't know if you've seen the one where Sonny Bill puts his foot out after trying to score near the. Oh, no way! 4 points is important.
4 points. Do you believe, actually, there's a common argument we have on the ET stand, which is take the 2 points when it's on offer and it's easy to kick. I say that you should always take the 2 points. Where do you land on the kick and the goals and the two?
It's so it depends. I'm the first to look to the sideline and be like, what are we doing? Just because I think it depends. If you're up by 10, two tries and 2 conversions and they're in front, so you take the 2, but if I'm in an iron, it's also feel of the game. Like if you can feel that you're cracking them, you want to keep going, and if you can get 6 points, it's better than getting 2 or 4 points. So, I don't know. It's very subjective. I think saying you just take the 2 all the time, I don't know if I'd agree with it.
Oh, I'm on the captain of the take the 2 team. I don't know if you knew that, but I guess you must have known that if I was going to ask the question. But you only ever score a try about 1 in 6. So therefore, if the 2s are given, it's just better. But anyway, we digress. Let's preview this.
You don't want to get into this argument?
Oh, no. Well, I'm prepared to get into the argument if I'm going to win, but I feel like I'm going to lose.
No, I feel like I might lose. No, it's I don't know. It's so subjective to how you feel in the game. Tony is fairly big on, we know how we're feeling out there as well.
Yep.
Sometimes you do it for a break. There's so many reasons that you do what you do out there, but yeah, I think it depends on sort of where the other
Also
team
the
are,
position
how many points you're ahead. If you're up by 40, do you want to play through? And you're obviously cracking somewhere, so I don't know. It's a hard one. I don't know. I don't mind it though. Take the 2 all the time.
Well, maybe if it's not from the sideline. We saw Zach Lomax do it. I thought the Peter Sterling analogy is the best one, which is to try and work out what you think your opponents would want you to do and then do the opposite of that, I think is actually the answer on the take the 2.
Yeah, sometimes you want them to take the 2, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, that's when you don't take the that's when you certainly don't take the 2. All right, let's preview this game, which sadly you are not part of, but still part of the squad. So bring that up and I move that over there. What did go wrong? Was it just the sin bins? I thought we were unlucky with the sin bins against the Tigers, which let us down. Was it as simple as that?
No, I think we're still in the game, even though we had the sin bins, and they're obviously going to play a part, but at the same time, we had so many opportunities to win it or equalise, and we didn't. We gave so many yardage penalties away, and it's probably the one thing we do that kills us really, really badly. We get out of our own end so well, and then all of a sudden we give a penalty to them in their own half. So I don't know. I think that kills us a lot more.
Yeah.
But I think we're prepared to do some better efforts this week and get the win.
We'll see how we go. All right. Well, Emma's been named in your jumper. And that was a move that was a more recent move. What are your thoughts on that? Is that the right position for Emmie, you think?
Yeah. Again, that's a hard one because she kills it at 6 and you want the ball in her hands as much as possible, but she's safe she's the New South Wales fullback, so I don't mind her holding the jersey warm for a little while. But yeah, no, she's great. I think she's so safe under the high balls. I think she needs to take a lot more short sides as if she was 6. But yeah, I think playing her there, giving her more chance to run out of our own yardage and stuff too is probably benefits us. But I do like her in the 6, obviously, when I'm there. So
Yeah, I bet. Is
it's
she your
a
favourite
much for
person
a
to play with in
muchness.
the same team as?
She'd be up there. She'd be up there. I don't know.
Not that you're choosing. Not that I'm going to make you choose. Who's your favourite? Who's your favourite person? No, I'm not going to ask you that. It's
I
so
honestly,
mean.
if I'm going to be honest, I love playing with her, and I also love playing with both centres. They
Well,
are absolute tanks and the most underrated centre combo in the competition.
I don't know if they are underrated. Les Cheal, one of our
I think
regular
they are. You've got
commenters,
the
said,
Roosters. Everyone talks about Isabel Kelly and Jess Surgis, but I don't know. These two are something else.
well, one of our regular viewers, Les Cheal, called out that he thinks Penatani and Biddle are the best centres the Sharks have had since E.T. and McGraw. Or McGaw.
Oh wow!
So firstly, if you don't know who those guys are, Wikipedia and Google.
I know ET.
McGaw was his Sparkles McGaw was his partner and scored a really good try in the State of Origin in I think 1987. I think was the year.
Wow. So one of my parents was 2 years old. That's good.
Oh goodness, that's
2 years old.
hilarious. All right, how big of a loss is Holly Wheeler this week?
Yeah, it's huge. We have such a good pack still, though. Like, I don't want to take away from anyone else who's named because they're going to do a job. And I think they're great. Manolita Takapautolo, she's a beast. She's still only 18, and she's going to be an absolute superstar. She might have turned 19 now, but she is young and exciting and can still play Tash Gale next year, I think. So that means she's only 18. Yeah, so I think she's a beast. We're going to see her kill it.
Yeah, right. We've got it's just a young up and coming team. And so look, if the Sharkies girls, we don't do it this year, we're certainly building. And sometimes the analogy is you need to be in the mix and lose one to build on that. Certainly we don't want to think that way this week. But if you look at where we've come from, the inaugural team last year and where we are now and where we were 3 weeks ago, it's certainly a good spot to be in. But yeah, we're certainly banged up. What is it? Byers and Anderson, they had knocks. Was it Byers took a really crappy dive at a knee? That was her injury, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think she's okay. I think they've just, she sort of had some bone bruising maybe or something. But she's all good to go. She's trained well this week, so she'll be sweet.
All right, good to go. All right, let's check out this Broncos team. Who do we need to keep an eye out for? Who's gonna trouble us?
Ali Brigginshaw has been around forever. She knows how to win games. I think that's concerning. And someone like Chelsea Lenarduzzi off the bench is very much an impact player. And Hayley Maddox probably leading the competition in try assists. So I think they're a big 3 that'll have big X's on them that we want to sort of target and get at and make defend and come out of yardage so that they can't do too much damage to us on the other end of the field.
Yeah, so closing those characters down. All right, how are we going to win, mate?
Hold the ball.
Hold the ball.
Complete. We've got the footy in us. I think that we'll be frustrated with ourselves if we don't complete up near 80% and hold the ball. And I think we just want to let the ball fly. I think Tiana said it. We've been gun shy and not throwing the ball out the back and hitting short and stuff all the time. And it's time to play footy. You don't win games by being too safe, especially at finals time. So we've got to try something and make sure that we just play footy, have fun.
Yeah, absolutely nothing to lose. Look, we were 15 seconds away from beating him 2 weeks ago. And I watched that match with a group of Sharks fans down in Melbourne, and we were dejected. I can tell you, we were absolutely spewing. So, look, to win the NRL finals matches, you do need a little bit of luck. You need luck with the injuries, luck with some of the moments, and then you need a few standout performances. So, look, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for the weekend ahead for the Sharkies. Certainly, yeah, God, just win, just win. Come on, be so good.
Tell me about it. Fingers are so crossed. I'm not actually heading up there, which is a bit sad. But yeah, it's exciting time for the girls. I think the vibes at training have been pretty like composed, which is
Mm.
such a good sign. We've got a few leaders. Like I know we've got such a young team, but we've got girls who have played at international level, state of origin, and I think we've got the perfect mix. And even though I'm not there, obviously I want to see them do really well, and I think we can win the comp. So to do that, we need to win the
We need to
prelim.
start this week. 2 matches. That's all we've got to do. Like the men's team, just win 2 matches.
Oh, a double would
Right.
be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, well, it would be nice. And then, well, look, and then for you personally, in terms of a career, look, it would be a bummer not to be part of the grand final winning team, but you're a big part of the squad, aren't you? So you're just cheering for them. Just everything you've got's just cheering for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. I think it hurts, but I think I'd hurt less if they won it without me. I think it'd probably hurt more if you think you could have done something for the team
Mm.
and like you sort of let them down in a way, which is not how I know you should look at it. You can't help injuries, but it's probably the first thought that pops into your head is, oh no, the team. And so if they were to win it, I definitely wouldn't feel sorry for myself. I'd be cheering.
Cheering. So what is your role in and around training at the minute?
Oh,
Limited?
nothing's changed. Be the pest, I
I'll just
guess.
be, yeah, right.
Just no, I love being around the girls and having fun. I think that's such an important part. All the girls do something different outside of footy. Majority of them have full-time work. So
Mm.
when you show up to training, it can be so easy to sort of, I guess, plateau and sort of not bring your best mood. So you want to be around people who are happy and smiling. I think that's my sort of job. I think I've only missed maybe a couple of sessions since the injury, just because it's good for me mentally as well
Mm.
to be around the girls and smiling and having fun.
Well, it's also inspirational for you, and it gives you a goal to see where you should get to come back, really. And you're categorically right. Wherever you are, make it the place to be. Now, a little bit of a change in tact. That try.
I know the one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what try could we possibly be talking about, Jada? Which one could it be?
I don't know. Maybe that under
How many
19s
times have
one.
you talked about this try?
I reckon every time I do an appearance, I get asked about this try. Every time.
Of course, I'm referring to the State of Origin under 19s 2022, a try that is arguably the longest try ever scored. If you'd have run sideways and under the posts to make the conversion easier, it might have been the longest distance ever covered to score a try. It did win the Peter Frelingos moment of the year. And looking back at these Frelingos moments, these are some seriously big rugby league moments. You've got
Really?
2014, the New South Wales winning State of Origin. You've got 4 brothers in the NRL team for the first time. You've got Ben Barber in 2012. You've got Paul Gallen's performance as a front rower in 2011 in State of Origin. There's that crazy Jared Hayne try, the Braithen Astor field goal, Brett Finch and field goal. Like, these are some serious rugby league moments. The Billy Slater 2004 one, Andrew Johns in 2005.
Oh my
That
god.
is like a serious list to be
I've
alongside.
talked about this try so much and no one's ever told me about the other moments.
There you go. Which moment would you like to know about? I could.
All of them. They're pretty cool. I don't know, to be in, winning an award that has been won by Joey Johns and Billy Slater and stuff. Ben Barber, that's pretty cool.
It's
pretty cool moment.
It's certainly a nice alumni to sit along. So there's also the Nathan Friend one where he jumps and he does the flip over thing. If you've ever seen that crazy highlight, couple of winning field goals, and a couple of other major moments, and also the NRL's ability to deal with COVID in 2020 and the Dolphins winning their opening game. So Melbourne Storm win. That's some serious. Well, all right. So talk us through the try. Like, how do you score a try like that?
Everyone asked me what I was thinking about, and I think the answer is the same every time. You don't think when you play. It sort of just happens, and as a fullback, your job is to get out of the dead ball zone. So I think the first thing I'm thinking about is you got to get out of here and get back into the field of play, and whatever else happens, happens. And I'm competitive, so I want to score a try every time I touch the ball. So just glad I could, to be honest, because I nearly got chased down by a back rower, and as a fullback, embarrassing.
Yeah. But you're pretty fast.
Yeah, only for about 40. The first 20 is probably my best, and then I can sort
Yeah,
of
right.
hold
And
for
then you
20,
start.
and then I start to go backwards a little bit. So off the
Got it.
mark, yes, but then I probably am looking for someone.
You're
If I
looking.
haven't
You're
burnt
looking.
everyone.
You're looking to pass. Who is the fastest in the Sharkies team?
I don't know.
You.
We actually haven't had a race. I don't know. It'd be
All right.
nice. Let's just do it over 40 though.
Yeah, let's just do it over. All right. So as a, I was going to say in your younger days, but you are what, 21? Uh, so you're still very young. What were your other sports you might have considered? Like, were you ever in athletics, or what? You're obviously an athlete.
I started playing footy when I was 5. I didn't really
Yeah.
have another choice. I think my parents at the time thought they had 2 sons, is what I always say. Like my dad coached the local footy side, or captain coached it. So my brother and I sort of just went to rugby league, and I played up
There's
until I
nothing,
was.
never anything else.
I played OzTag. Um, I played OzTag from a young age and did all that representative stuff, and then
Yep.
I had to stop playing league with the boys when I was 13, but I stopped a couple of years earlier. The boys get a bit too big. I'm still
Mm.
small for the girls, so obviously it was just a little bit shambles. And then my teammate, Emma, had just won gold at the Olympics in Rio for rugby sevens, so there was a massive boom for rugby sevens. I went and played locally for sevens, and then I got picked up. And then I ended up coming to school in Sydney in 2019. And then I had a couple of shoulder reconstructions, but I was still in the sevens system, in the Aussie Development sevens
Yep.
stuff. And then, yeah, decided 2022 I'd come back and with some healthy shoulders, play rugby league, and then started playing Tarsha Gale for the Roosters, and debuted that same year in the NRLW. So it was a pretty
So
awesome
pretty
year,
much
and
you're
I
always
only
a leaguey. You're always a leaguey, really, weren't you?
always. I went to the other code for a little while, but I'm back.
Tell you what, it's pretty good, that rugby sevens though. Those matches at
Yeah.
the Olympics, they're like pretty pumped up.
Yeah, I think it was hard to sort of leave the dream. Um, I don't know, so many young girls, they want to win a gold medal, and I was like any other young kid, you want to win a gold medal and you think you're the fastest person ever, but sevens has that really good pull to get a lot of athletes to their sport, because playing footy at the Olympics is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is very, very cool. I was thinking maybe we should push for rugby league to be in the Olympics at Brisbane. I think might have
That'd
done
be
our
good.
dash on that one. Wouldn't that be amazing? You'd be young enough to still be able to play in that.
Yeah, no, that's the thing at the moment. I think I've got to stay fit though.
All right,
The
well, I got to
Vegas game
start
will be
eating.
very
All right,
cool for the girls.
so who's Jada Taylor's role models? Who are you looking up to and just thinking, well, you're just a legend, aren't you?
Oh wow, that's a good question. Um, in league, I think I was a massive GI fan as a kid. I loved Greg Inglis. I thought he was the coolest player ever. Being big as he was, so fast and strong, and the goanna was an awesome touch. So I really loved him. And then when I played All Stars last year, he was there, and the NRL did a couple of stories on him talking about me being fast, and I think I nearly cried. I was that excited. So I think that's the one
That's
time
cool.
I've sort of been a little bit starstruck. I think the way he carries himself now, and he's so open in the way he talks about his emotion and mental health and what he's doing with Goanna Academy is really, really inspiring. And I think using his brand that he's got, he's really made a difference in community.
Yeah, right. So you mentioned Greg Inglis and him talking about you. In terms of commentators, who would be your favourite? And you're like, oh, this person's who is like, oh, who would be your ultimate to have commentating on one of your matches next season? Who would you love to see commentating
Ah,
Jada Taylor's return to NRLW?
probably Billy Slater. I know he does a little bit of it. Jonathan Thurston would be cool too, but I think, I don't know, everyone talks about how fast Billy was over that really short it's something that Greg Inglis talked about in the story. Now he's talked about it, how quick he was over that short distance. And I think, yeah, he'd probably be a cool one. He's got a bit of that fullback inside knowledge. So if I played okay, I'd hope he'd talk about me a little bit.
And he did score
Probably
a classic
just crop it
try.
then.
He did score a classic try or two at Shark Park, Billy Slater. Sharks fans don't love Billy Slater though, Jada. So
maybe Gal, I don't know. Mick
yeah, I
Ennis
thought about.
cool
Yeah,
dude.
I've modelled my career on Gallen. Just powerlifting, deadlift.
I know, I don't want to lie to you. That's the problem.
No, you don't have to worry about that. That's just absolutely hilarious, isn't it? In terms of match days, any crazy superstitions? Are you like putting your left boot on before your right boot, or like wearing the same
I'm going to stop you
undies?
there.
Or like,
I do exactly that. I put my left boot on before I put my right boot. My
oh God,
argument,
you do this stuff.
I do that. My
Why?
argument is that you're never not going to have both boots on, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. It's something that my dad did, and then it's something that my brother as a kid would do because my dad did it. So it was just something that I picked up on. I have no idea why, and there's no need for it, but I do that, and I wear a ribbon. I don't think that's a superstition, but I just like it. Think it looks cute because I think you look like a little boy sometimes when my hair's pulled right back, and I'm like, the little ribbon's a nice touch.
Well, you've got to pull your hair back, don't you? Because similar to the UFC fighters, you girls have just got too much hair to be playing rugby league. Like it's.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. Some of the men have it too.
Some of the men do it too. They're braiding and doing that sort of stuff. Like must bloody hurt if your hair gets yanked, but especially at your speed.
Yeah, I don't really know. Mine's so long. Like I have really long hair, like down to my butt, and no one really pulls it. I think it's I don't know, when there's so many things that go into a tackle, and your hair gets stuck in between people on the ground more so than people pulling it. No one's really trying to do it. So if it happens, it's an accident. And I think the majority of the time it happens to wingers and stuff, and it's people trying to reach.
Yeah, it's
for a last ditch tackle sort of thing, and they grab them and get a hold of the hair, but it doesn't really happen that much, as much as you think it would in the women's game anyways. I've seen it happen to Jerome Luai more than me.
Well, my take is that I think Jerome Luai is the best player in the NRL, actually, Jada. That's my take.
Oh, another hot take. I think Nathan's better, but...
Well, you wait and see, because I think the Tigers will be instantly competitive next season. And the Panthers had Nathan Cleary and didn't win.
What's competitive? Pushing for the 8 or
they'll be in the 8.
Wooden spoon? Oh.
They'll be in the 8. It's
wow, big take. That is a hot take.
Just because of Jerome Luai. And I watch a lot of rugby league.
Too.
Hey?
And Galvin's gone pretty good, so
yeah, Galvin's. They just got too many good. They'll be better, the Tigers, and Benji will work out how to first grade coach. But anyway, we're talking about we digress. Go. This is the beauty of this rugby league podcast. You can literally chat about stuff forever. What's your advice to young athletes trying to be the next Jada Taylor? How do you crack it in the NRLW?
I think the first thing I say to a lot of young girls is don't be afraid. I think a lot of the young girls at the moment are going into league tag and stuff, which is a really good pathway if you want to get some footy skills and stuff, but just don't be afraid to have a go at footy and stick with it, I think. But probably the biggest piece of advice that I've ever got from my parents is to just be happy, smile, enjoy what you're doing. I think I get stuck in being really, really competitive all the time, and I want to win everything. I don't care if it's at training. I don't care if it's in a game. I just want to win. And I think just being happy and enjoying what you do and loving it goes all the way to making a difference and can really push you to be the best athlete you can. So be
certainly
happy.
If you do something you just like doing and be happy doing it, geez, it's like a breath of fresh air, aren't you? You should come on. We'll have to get you on the pod if the girls win, or we'll get you on the podcast and you can cheer up our sorry sad sack Franco, who's he's like the voice of doom. It's like, oh, so
that sounds good. I can honestly talk to anyone, so it's easy. I'll make that day happier.
Now, you are the Cronulla Sharks Indigenous Program Coordinator, something that I have worked out you are very passionate about. Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, I love what I do. I think regardless of being a football player, I'd work in some capacity in community, and I think
Mhm.
wearing the Sharks brand gives us all the more power in community. Kids want to listen to us just because they know you're a part of the Sharks and they love the Sharks. So I think I love what I do because I feel that it's making a difference, and if I can be any part in closing the gap between life expectancy of Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians, then I'll be super proud.
It's a fair It's a fair goal to have, and certainly a worthy cause. Geez, that's an impressive story. All right, well, we'll give us 3 minutes to chat about the men's match, the other match that's on this week. The Sharkies taking on the Penrith Panthers on, what is it, Saturday night. Pretty much injury-free and full strength. What's your take, Jada? Can they knock off that also ran Jerome Luai and Nathan Cleary, those average halves?
Yeah, I think they can. It's rugby league and things happen, and anyone's a chance in finals. They say it's a whole different ball game, and I think that's true. And I think we're going to get a double Sharks win. I think Tricky was in really, really good form.
God, wasn't he?
At the moment, and I don't think that's just last week. Everyone's talking about last week, obviously, but I think he's been in pretty good form all year, and I'm excited to watch him play and see how some of the other boys handle it. Really, I think they've got a great team, and Fitzy's a great person, so I think they'll all pull together and play for each other and get the win.
Is Fitzy as particular and as dedicated as the stories that get to the fans? I hear the stories of him, the story that I heard was that, he doesn't like the media pictures to ever reveal any injuries, and he's very particular. Is that true? Is that true to those stories?
I don't know how yeah, from what I've heard, that's all pretty Fitzy. I think he does a great job at protecting his players though.
Yeah.
I think your perfect example is if you're putting out a picture of someone with an injury, all the questions become aimed at,
That person's
is that
injury.
person okay? And like they start talking about that. And I think players can sometimes feed into that from a player's perspective. So I think he does a great job at protecting his players in that capacity as well. And obviously limiting media and stuff like that, you're all like all of those things he sort of does for his team, not for himself. And the thing about Fitzy that I love is he's such a great human. You can walk in and he'll say hello to you and he's got no idea who you are. Every time I see him, he like, hi Jada, how's your knee? How's this? And I think those little moments that you have with people who you probably think are legends of the game and they really don't need to do it, I think that speaks a lot about somebody's character. And somebody else that does it as well is Mick Ennis. He was great at also just any person that walked past you. He would just speak to. And I think as a young girl, it sort of blew my mind how these legends of rugby league wanted to speak to me. I think it really changed my perception, I guess, of, being too shy to say anything to these awesome people.
I think that's fair enough. Well, I have a bone to pick with Mick Ennis, actually. So when the Sharks played Canberra in 2016, I kid you not, I got the Sharks fans doing the Viking clap, right, before the match, right? And then Mick Ennis comes on and he noticed us doing it. And he's like, oh, that's pretty funny. And so then at the end of the match when we won, he did the Viking clap, right? So ever since then, he's been attributed with this, oh, what a cheeky bugger doing the Viking clap to the Raiders fans. I'm like, no, you copied me, Michael Ennis, but you're welcome.
The credit.
Oh.
I don't know. He's got the greatest full-time speech ever, doesn't he? On media, talking about Andrew Fafita. I think my brother does it all the time. And he's saying Fafita, and he just keeps saying it. And I just think, oh,
well, just the emotion
clown.
on those victories and the effort that goes into winning a premiership. Like you've been working towards this for 21 years, really. This sporting story that you've gotten to be, part of. Eventually what's going to be the first premiership winning NRLW team for the Sharks. It's going to be a big moment. So, yeah, it's going to be emotional. So fingers crossed you can pull that off. You are an absolute legend. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you wish I'd asked you?
No, I'm easy. I talk about anything, honestly. It's one ear out the other. I just speak.
Talk to us about this merch. One of the pod boys loves the Sharks merch. What's this jersey you got going on here?
These are the Deadly Choices ones. So, part of my awesome job is Deadly Choices is Queensland government funded, and the way that they are in the system of all the Queensland NRL teams is unreal. But in New South Wales, Sharks are the only one with a Deadly Choices officer employed, and we get the benefit of having all these shirts made for the boys to wear at training prior to Indigenous round, and also for kids who do the program to then get to receive one and wear the Sharks branding, but with the Deadly Choices logo and the Indigenous
Tell us more about
design.
Deadly Choices for those that don't know.
So Deadly Choices is basically an Indigenous programs in schools, high school and primary schools, and it's designed to educate on healthy lifestyles and how to live a healthy lifestyle. As I said before, it's that trying to close the life expectancy gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians. So on average, that's about 10 years. And we sort of just don't think that's fair to expect that, when two children are born, if one's Indigenous, that they might have a lower life expectancy is a little bit of a sad statistic. So trying to get rid of that and I think we do a pretty good job of it here in the way we promote the program. We see a lot of kids, and our boys are also really, really passionate about, as our women, are passionate about getting out and making a difference. And a lot of them come to the school visits, and the kids are just busting out the seams to see them. They love the players, and especially in a place like the Shire, the Sharks are such a big figure.
Can't miss the Sharks in the Shire, can you?
You can't.
All right, Jada,
I
you
wasn't
absolutely.
part of it, but now I am.
Well,
I'm a Shire girl now.
Well, certainly. Well, you fit in. Perfect.
I don't know.
Nothing
I don't
wrong.
have blonde hair yet. The blonde hair and the
It's
nice
not about
skin.
being blonde in the Shire. It's about it's a choice of lifestyle and way of being and an aura, and you certainly deliver on that, mate. So I wouldn't worry about that. You're an absolute legend, Jada. So thanks for coming on this episode.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been good fun.
Talking footy. Easy.
Oh yeah, well, goodness, yeah. Just getting to chat about one thing that I love, the Cronulla Sharks, is good fun. So
we share that in common then.
Oh yeah, could talk about and rugby league underwater. All right, well that was Jada Taylor on the ET Stand podcast. If you're still watching, thank you for watching, and please do hit the subscribe button if you've not subscribed to us yet. And we will be back with a special Thursday night episode with Franco on the ET Stand. We're doing an extra episode this week. I'm going to give a preview of the Sharks finals match on Saturday pre-game. We'll have a debrief Saturday, and then we'll be back next week to talk about the impending grand finals, both squads. So we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Jada. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.